Hey everyone, sorry it's been a while since I made a video. It's already a new year, it's 2017 now, but I'm going to make a Q&A video. I asked you guys on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter any questions that you had, and so I'm going to be answering those, and without wasting any time, we're going to get right into it. So the first question was, how long are you staying? So I'm staying until July, and I came here in September. And the next question is, what's your favorite food in Germany? Okay, so it's called a Laugenstange, yeah. I think that's right. But it's basically like a pretzel stick kind of, and then it has, I like it with like cheese, melted cheese on top, and then like little disklets or little rings of circles of salami on top of it, and I love it so much. Like they have it at our school, and it's only like €1.10, and it's my favorite. Like I could eat it all day. Yeah, the food here in Germany is really, really amazing. That's like one of my favorite things about it. Next question. What was your biggest culture shock moving there, and besides other than the language? And so I didn't really have a culture shock. I had, I guess, a little bit of a honeymoon phase, they call it, and that was, I expected it. I knew that was happening at the time. I think I've already talked about this in a video, but whatever, I'll repeat myself. I don't even know, maybe I already answered some of these questions, because these are from a while ago. Because I made a video trying to do a Q&A, but it didn't turn out well. Anyway, my biggest culture shock is that I was really, really sick, and I couldn't find anywhere to get medicine, because I was misinterpreting the name of a store, DM. It means literally like a drugstore, but the literal translation is like that, but it's not. It's more of like toiletries you buy there. And then Apotheka is a pharmacy. It means, it just means pharmacy, and that's where you buy medicine, and that's pretty much the only place. Like in the US, it's very convenient. There's medicine kind of everywhere. There's food everywhere. But in Germany, it's a little more specific which store you have to go to. And I was really sick, and that kind of screwed me over. I was like freaking out kind of because I was super sick. But yeah, I didn't have a huge culture shock, but it was just really that time that I really was super aware that I was not familiar with anything, and I was like, oh no, I don't know how to get medicine, and I'm really sick. And I was at an English camp. That's why I didn't ask my host family I need medicine, because I'd totally be comfortable doing that. That'd be super easy. But I was at an English camp, actually helping out with teaching a little bit of English because my host brother was at the camp. So yeah, next question. Do you prefer Germany or the United States in the time that you've spent there? So that I can't really answer directly. It's an interesting question because it's not, it doesn't have an answer, but it brings up a good point, a good topic. They always say it in AFS, and they always say it in the CBYX PPP scholarship, and that's that it's not good or bad or different. It's not good or bad. It's just different. And it becomes so cheesy because everyone says it so many times, but it's so true. It really is. Just holds itself. Just hold its meaning through the entire exchange. There was I guess a month I had where I was just I don't know. It wasn't that I wasn't having a good time in Germany. It's just the things that I disliked about it kind of just stood out to me more, and I was it was just kind of me realizing that I don't know so much about Germany. I'm here on exchange, and I'm here to learn things about it, but coming here I don't know anything really about it, so there's a lot of things that maybe I don't know about that there's a lot of things actually that I won't know about that people who have lived here know about. So it really showed, that month I guess showed me that I was very unaware of a lot of things. And now if you ask me, I've really gotten used to a lot of things in Germany. I've come to really, really enjoy a lot of things in Germany that aren't really there in the US. And it's interesting, but I mean, I was born and raised in the US, and so that is always, for my whole life, no matter if I live in another country for 30 years, it's just going to be what I know best, naturally. So yeah, it's interesting, especially when you go somewhere for a long amount of time. I don't think I was really the biggest fan of Kingston, Massachusetts when I left to go to Germany, but I love Kingston. Like, it's the town I grew up in. It's the town I know the most. It's really like, it shows you that it's important where you came from, and it's important, not just looking at, the grass is always green on the other side is a good way of explaining it. You always think, oh, it's going to be better somewhere else. And I really enjoy it here in Germany. It's not like I'm not enjoying it. Totally not. It's a really, really interesting experience, and there's a whole lot of things that I really enjoy about it that I would consider better than the U.S. in some ways. For example, public transportation is incredible here, and you get a real sense of freedom, I guess. And there's a lot of things that I prefer here, but there's some things I prefer in the U.S. And at the same time, in the U.S., that's what I'm most familiar with. It always will be. So I wouldn't be able to say ever really that that I prefer Germany or the U.S. really. So yeah, that's pretty much the only way I can answer that question. But it brings up a good point. So yeah, I'm going to move on to the next question, and that is what's the major difference between the two countries that you can think of? So I guess the biggest difference would be, there's a few things. I guess the school system is very, very different. These are kind of tiny things. These aren't huge cultural things. The food is very different. I mean, everything. Germany is it's Western. It's a Western culture. It's not so different from the U.S. We're very, very close with Germany. So there's a lot of things that are very, very similar, but at the same time, there are things that are pretty different. And I guess I would say maybe things that you notice very quickly would be, I guess, the cars, the streets, the architecture, definitely the architecture, the food, the school system's totally different. But I guess the biggest real difference, that was my host father. He just walking out that was really funny. I have the big window here, and you always have to walk past it to get to the driveway, and he just walked past and waved. But biggest difference, I just lost my train of thought. But I thought about it earlier, and I kind of made up my mind, but I can't really remember exactly. I guess I would say, yes, okay. I guess I would say the international awareness. I would say in the U.S., it's kind of unfortunate we're not so intercultural, we're not so aware of other cultures, we're not so eager to learn about it. And I would say most people here, especially about the United States, are very eager, they're very keen on other cultures. Not just the U.S., but I mean, they're more willing and they're more accepting of other cultures generally. I mean, I think in the U.S. we're very accepting. I think especially it's becoming that way. There's a big movement, a lot of acceptance, I would say. But in Germany, it's definitely more than acceptance. I would say most people are very, very interested in other cultures, truly, not just, I think a lot of people come to the U.S. and we say, oh, that's cool that they're from Germany or Switzerland or Austria or anywhere. We would say that's really cool, and then we kind of get over it and get past it and maybe not ask so many questions or not be so genuinely interested. Typically what I see is that. I'm not saying everyone is like that, of course. And I wouldn't blame people for that at all, not being totally keen on other cultures, because it's just not the way the U.S. Teaches things. It's not the way we think about the rest of the world generally. That's how it is. So yeah, I would say people are very, very keen on other cultures. I guess the government, there's some big differences. I say big, kind of exaggerated when you compare it to other countries, other cultures. But Germany and the U.S. are pretty similar. You're not going to have this giant, gaping difference between the two of them. They're both Western cultures, but there's some significant differences. But I don't know if I could say one huge difference. And okay, next question. Are the people generally nice or mean? So I think it's definitely a stereotype we think of in the U.S. when we think of Germans, that they're so cold-hearted and very strict and very punctual, and they're like machines. And it's not that way at all. It's definitely not like that. Like the second day of school, people invited me to go ice skating. Like I've said it in a video before, but like people are really nice. People are really, really, especially hospitable. noticed. So yeah, there's no reason to be afraid of German people. And the language, there's this like thought in the U.S. that, or any English-speaking countries, I assume, really, that the German language is so strong and so angry sounding, but it's not. I mean, maybe it's not like flowing the same way as French or Italian, but I mean, it's not an angry language. Yeah, I would not say that people are mean. I would not worry about it. I would say there are moments where people are a little more blunt, a little more straightforward, a little more frank than in the U.S. I think the U.S. people definitely sugarcoat things a lot. It's becoming kind of that way in Germany, but I would say maybe they're a little more honest and straightforward, but they're definitely not mean by any means. So. I'm not going to edit this out like crazy. Is it more laid back than the U.S.? I would say in a workspace, no. I would say that, for example, if you have anything formal, like an appointment or anything work related or with your doctor or anything kind of formal, I would say it's less laid back. As far as like friends and doing things, there are moments where it's more laid back, but I would say it's not quite as laid back as the U.S. I would say it's a little more not rigid, but a little more structured, or a little more punctual, or not quite as laid back as the U.S. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make that video. This video, it's not uploaded yet, but I just want to make this video saying that I'm alive. I haven't made a video in forever, and I made the Paris video. But for any of you wondering what I've done in this time since I last made a video that I was actually talking, on my website, I'll leave a link somewhere here for it, and you can read all about it. I posted a thing a few days ago about what I did and a little summary of everything. The reason I didn't make a video explaining a whole lot is because I've been keeping not daily, but a few times a week, I will write in it a personal diary, so it really, like, I always felt like I was repeating myself, and I didn't want to talk about things too much. Not that I'm not happy with talking about anything else, but I felt like I was repeating myself, and writing a few times a week was already enough for me, and I didn't really feel so much of the need to make a video, and I just uploaded the website the other day, so I wasn't like, I want to make a video so bad. But I'm actually going to be in Hamburg tomorrow until the 28th. Tomorrow's the 23rd, and I'm going to be at my Hauptzeit camp. I skipped a question. Hast du schon Leberkäse gegessen? Wie findest du es? Ja, ich habe es schon gegessen, aber ich hatte keine Ahnung. Habe ich keine Ahnung. I had no idea that I ate it, because I didn't know what it was called. Yeah. Ich hatte keine Ahnung, was es heißt. Yeah, I don't know. I have to work on my German. Tomorrow on the train, I'm gonna write a whole lot in my books and everything. German's going good though. I want to take another German course though. I have to find the time for it, because I have school, and before it was kind of cutting off my school time. But you can read about that on the website. I'll hopefully do some more updates soon. And I'm going to be in Hamburg, and I don't know what I'm going to do in Hamburg. I know we have a week to be there, so that gives me plenty of time to write in my website, or maybe do a video. I'm not sure. I'm not bringing my camera, because I have no idea what we're doing. I don't know if we're going to be outside or have a lot of free time or not. I would imagine so, because it's a whole week, and our pre-departure orientation wasn't even that long. So I'll let you guys know how that was. If you're not already subscribed, definitely subscribe to the channel, and keep updating. Leave a like. Thanks guys for watching. It means a lot, really, especially you guys back in the US. I know the time zones are different, and these videos maybe upload a little oddly scheduled for you guys with the time change. But I really appreciate you guys watching it, so thank you, and have a nice week, I guess, yeah.